Episode number 247.
Something happens when you start to think beyond your own life. You start to create something that lasts and that's not temporary. Not just a financial legacy for your own family, but something that says like, man, I left this here.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, you know, I'm fired up as always, but today, I have to say I'm a little extra fired up. Not only is my man into the music, he produces hip-hop music, but this dude is just a great person and a great girl dad. We're going to get into that. Folks, we're bringing you our featured guest today, Darryll Stinson. Darryll, are you ready to be real?
What's up, baby?
Are you ready to be real, my man? Let's go.
Man, real. I say I've got a ministry called Real Talk Recovery where I say the only way for you to get right is for you to get real. So it's all about transparency, authenticity here. So let's do it.
Let's go. And so just to give you guys a little insight about my man, Darryll, he is a thought leader, folks, especially in athlete transition. It's a big topic. So many great athletes, and we'll talk about that, have talent on the field and they have some money coming in, and then all of a sudden maybe their career ends and they don't know how to transition to that next career. He's, folks, spoken on the big kind of stages like TEDx. He's also, like we talked about, a hip-hop artist. He lives also a life connected with God through being a pastor. And also on top of that, folks, he is a John Maxwell coach. So we'll get into that too, about that, because I love John Maxwell and what he teaches, and also how he scaled his management and coaching endeavors. Yep. And also, you know, you've challenged many things in your life, like all of us, you know, everything from childhood rejection, mental illness, depression, multiple suicide attempts, which maybe people don't like to talk about. I appreciate you being honest about that. I know, being an overweight kid, when I was a kid, I had many thoughts of what it would be like to T-Huff not be here in this world.
Right.
But beyond that, folks, he's also a defensive end, folks, for Central Michigan, where he, helped get his team to the MAC championships. We can talk about teamwork, and they were 23rd nationally ranked. And then basically now, folks, how he helps people is really in a big way. He founded his business, Second Chance Athletes, and helping people really transition and find that transition, both maybe in their life on the field and off the field, and dealing with these different challenges and money and the influence and fame and girls and all the fun things we are challenged with. But it's a pleasure to have you on the show today, man. You really have a great story. And tell us a little bit about the start. After you got done playing ball, you had gone through many different things. We'll go through maybe about the mental challenges and mental illness. But tell me about what made you want to start this kind of business. Like, what made you think like, wow, this is a good business to start? Because it really is. I think it's a fascinating business.
Yeah, thank you. Just being focused on results, man. I'm really big on, transformation. And I noticed that I started to share my story about, overcoming my suicide attempts, and, even some, organizational leadership stuff with how we were able to win the championship. And some people just wanted to hear that I played with Antonio Brown or Eric Fisher, who was a number 1 draft pick. And so I was telling this story, and a lot of people were coming up to me, man, that was so great. It was awesome. It was amazing. And they were leaving inspired, but they weren't leaving transformed.
Gotcha.
And that bothered me. That I wasn't content with just being a star of the show. I wasn't just content with being a great personality. I wanted people to experience change. And I felt like I was letting them hang when they would come up to me and say, I've been struggling with depression too. I don't know what I want to do with my life beyond sports either. And then I go, man, it sucks, don't it? And I wanted to help beyond that. So Second Chance Athletes became a vehicle which enabled us to do that. And so now through our team, and connections with other organizations, we're able to service athletes in a high way. So.
And specifically, what types of athletes? Because I know obviously there's many different types, but I can see you resonating around the football story because obviously of your story, and so. But I think that there's so many people, athletes, celebrities. Right now, we got YouTube influencers, because you don't know how long your window of fame is. If you want to call that, or in music, it's the one hit wonder. Or it's hard to stay. It's hard to stay relevant, and so you have to give credit to those that can keep being relevant. Part of it is they just don't give up. Right. Part of it is they just keep putting out content. Part of it is they just learn to transition and learn to evolve. Look at Eminem. I mean, he still evolves through Eminem, dude. I mean, when I first real impactful hip hop tracks was like, dude, this dude you start hearing this, hi, my name is, it was just, there's something different, you know?
Right,
and
exactly.
so, and, you know, obviously being a white gentleman, he was breaking into something new and not trying to be disrespectful, but he was just that talented. I mean, the dude was just that talented. It spoke on the paper, and when he said it and through his songs, and then you can see many different artists, or also right now you can say athletes. To look at Tom Brady, look at people that are able to, he's transitioning into a whole new career in that he's playing with a new team in his 40s.
So crazy.
And at the biggest level, you know, and obviously we're going through the Rona right now, but he's still doing it, you know? And so that you look at people like that, and my wall of greatness around me here that I've collected all these autographs, and Bill Belichick and The Rock, and looking these people in the face, it's that they put in the work. Yeah. And that's how you stay relevant, right? I mean, that's a big part of the journey in having a second shot, in that we all have a second shot.
Mm-hmm.
No, right? There's no, the world is full of unlimited things and the unlimited abundance too.
Right.
And
absolutely, man. If
you put in the work, folks, it will reward you. Now, it will take time, right? I mean, it's one of those things, just like you get on the football field. So how you guys won championships, I'm pretty sure you guys practiced.
Of course.
Boom.
Practice makes permanent, right?
Boom. And it releases that, you know, not only the endorphins, but the challenges and the obstacles. And what happens, folks? You get better. And so that's the big part in, I think, the journey of an athlete or anybody right now. Businesses right now are getting hit over the head with something that they never expected.
Right.
They might have put all their eggs in one basket. Now, maybe that wasn't the smartest move. I was talking to my dad last night about that. Hey, it wasn't maybe the smartest move to take your whole house and put it into a restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't your fault. It was your dream. And you should still go for your dreams, but it wasn't your fault. We didn't know the freaking Rona was going to be around the corner and was going to knock out everybody across the world. And so it's just one of those things that you have to now look at, well, what's my next second chance, right? Like what do I evolve from here? It can't just be this. I know my buddy who runs a bunch of hospitality restaurants and bars that they got closed again, you know, and here in California, they were open and they got closed again. So he's saying refresh, like take that time to refresh, folks, right? Plan, right? Plan and then pivot, dude. Just go for it. You're going to have to plan and pivot. You're going to have to move the business different. It's not going to be the same. He might not ever be able to open again.
You're right, man.
But it's not going to stop him, my boy. You know, I'll give him a shout out. My boy Lewis, it ain't going to stop him. He's going to find something different, right? It's one of those things.
Yeah. They say when you get knocked down, there's only one way to go, and that's up. And so no matter how low you get in life, you know, you might cry it out. You might be discouraged for a second, but all you have to do is open up your eyes and look up, and you'll start to see opportunities unfold before you. Even if you did, like me, put all my eggs in one basket,
right?
There's still a plan. There's still a way to transition. And so you asked a question about what type of athletes we work with. And so more than a level of athlete, because usually that's what people mean, like is it high school, college, pro?
Right.
It's a type of athlete, which is high athletic identity. Gotcha. Because how long you play has nothing to do with how much you're going to struggle with your career after sports. It's how much you identify with the role of an athlete.
Gotcha.
And so the higher your athletic identity is, the more likely it is that you'll struggle. And that's for anything. If you get your identity from what you do, if you're, we talked, a guy heard me speak for a Fellowship of Christian Athletes event. He was a retired executive of a Fortune 500 company for 20 plus years. Wow. He came up to me afterwards and was just like, I need exactly what you just talked about, because my identity had got so tied up into one thing. And now that it's taken away from me, I don't know who I am. Like I can console, but I don't even want, I don't know. I've spent so much time with this one-dimensional identity.
Right.
And so that's what we specialize in. How do you detach your identity from what you do, find your unique purpose, your higher calling, and then how do you build out the next stream of revenue in your life? And so that's what we're excited about, man. And it's just phenomenal to see those stories of like, whoa, like, like this is crazy. I never thought I'd be doing this. And what I love too is when we're able to leverage everything that we put into that one basket, right? Like I say, the athlete's most underutilized resource is the relationships.
Right. Oh, yes.
And so like everyone talks about that, but like, I don't think people understand the depth of relationships that athletes have. Like I literally had somebody who reported me in high school write me a check recently. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't think about the people who are fans of you, who wrote articles about you. You usually just think about like the core network, but you don't think about the extended network.
Absolutely.
And that's for any of us, right? There's more people watching us than we realize. And we've got to leverage our network in order to, do the things that we want to do on the earth.
That's the one big thing people always forget about with social is that they're always like worried about engagement. Oh, I didn't get so many likes. I didn't get so many, engagements. It's the view. It's always been the view. It's always been the impression. That's the impression. Not everyone's going to engage. Not everyone's going to say they want to engage on every single post of T-Huff's or Darryll's or whoever's. Maybe there are some people that want to engage on it. Some people still viewed it. They still saw it. They still listened to it. They didn't comment on the post. They didn't share it, but that's fine. They still listened to it. They still took in the content.
Absolutely.
And that is what people often get struggled behind is that, I didn't get enough downloads. I didn't get enough engagements on my podcast. I didn't get enough retweets on my post. So I'm going to stop doing posts now, and that's the thing that I think that everyone listening today, no matter where you're at, we all can be better.
Yeah.
Like, no matter where you're at, dude, we can all be better. And getting into the journey, I think that really struck the chord with you that I think is the most important for those that are listening is to tell your story. Everyone on this earth has a unique story to tell from when you woke up, when you were a kid and your journeys and the things you like to do, because we're all different humans. We're not robots. Darryll's different than I am. T-Huff's different than Jerry down the street, And so the most important thing, folks, is to just never forget right now, authenticity shines through everything. I really believe that, especially right now. Like you need to be able to tell your story. Now, at some point, there's a certain point where you don't really need to just be, bragging about yourself too. I think the most important thing that people forget to tell themselves in the story is that they want to focus on all the good shit. And you don't, folks. You need to talk about the struggles, the fact that T-Huff has stretch marks, the fact that I've gone through a ton of my own mental challenges to get where I'm at 38 years old and where I'm at as a girl dad like you, where I want to give all my love and affection and attention, especially after I saw some stuff with you and me and just impacted Kobe and just how he was such a great dad and father. And, it makes us, after Kobe's death, it made everyone, I feel like that's a father, want to step up even more. And it keeps us reminding, and, you never want to say a death ever should be in any good cause, if you were anything, call it like that. But it's amazing. I think that will never change. I think people always will think of Kobe when they are like thinking about, should I work or should I go to my kids' practice, And so I think I've talked to multiple dads, not only girl dads specifically, because I think that really resonated because he's a girl dad, but all dads. And they've said that to me, and I'll talk and podcasting people. And so God bless. And I love the hard work and dedication that Kobe's life represents to all of us dads, because we all are going to be put up against challenges, but that doesn't make us have to go sacrifice our time with our family. And you need to find ways, folks, to do the opposite and build your business, build your life, build everything around your family. Right. I think, and that's the thing that I loved about Kobe is that he literally built his whole life, even though he was on the highest level of basketball and, the entertainment, but he'd still be flying back home to go get, his kids practice in at the end of the day, which you think is a remedial task, right? But it's not.
Right.
And so it's such an amazing thing. So, how do you find out someone's identity to their sport? Like, do you have a test? Do you run the, okay.
Yeah. We have
Tell us about that. So you go through like an assessment of telling you,
you go through an assessment. It enables to identify you at high risk or low risk. And then from there, we kind of build out a personalized plan for you. A lot of times you can tell just in one question, one question in two parts. One is like, how do you feel about your current life? It's good. I've got a good job, making some good money. How do you feel about your former life as an athlete? Man, I was the beast. I got killed. I got trophies. It's like you see the energy level, and the key is to match your energy level, because you should never live your current life as if it's second best to your former life as an athlete. That's no way to live. It's like bringing 80% of you into the world and leaving 20% back there in your glory days. We want 100% of you, all your business, all your energy, all your ideas, not this little tints of regret. It's like being married to a second wife and just wish you could go back and marry the first wife. It's like there's going to be something missing in that second marriage. And so, that's what it's about. And so, we have an assessment. And then from there, we have a whole process. And again, like the assessment will help you to know, but no matter where you're at, man, if you're ready to transition from sports to career, or if you're already in your career and you're ready to go from career to legacy, we built out the Legacy League to help people build out that next phase. Because I heard this quote that was like, the richest people in the world are the ones who thought the most about the world to come. Yep. When I heard that, man, it was just so challenging. And I was like, man, exactly. That's not that we're trying to do it for wealth, but that something happens when you start to think beyond your own life. You start to create something that lasts and that's not temporary. Not just a financial legacy for your own family, but something that says like, man, I left this here. Even the content on this podcast, people can listen to this forever and go, man, I needed that moment. I needed that. Let me say something because I want to address something you brought up. Because whenever people hear my story about overcoming like addiction and suicide, there's always, and we talk about sharing your story. And you mentioned some things with mental health issues, that there's always this temptation to think like, well, I don't have a story like that. Right. And that's where we get it mixed up. The point isn't to have the worst story or the most traumatic story. Those are not the stories that always make the most power. The story that's the most powerful is your story. Here's why. Because every story should have the same thread in common. It's 2 words. You ready? Mm-hmm. Me too. So if you want to have a powerful story, ask yourself, how can someone listen to my story and say me too? Right. And that can be anything. That can be somebody who's making, 7 figures in their business and they don't know what their next move is. They feel like they're only as good as their last funnel or their last sale. And somebody else needs to know, me too. Yeah. That can be somebody that's like, 3 times married, got different child support checks going on. But yet there's this public perception of them that they're just got it all together. Somebody needs to hear, me too. That's the same person who's a rock star public speaker, or the same lady who's a superstar model and she looks amazing. Everyone thinks she's beautiful, but deep down she thinks she's ugly or she's insecure. She just thinks she's hiding behind makeup. Somebody else needs to hear, me too. Yeah. And so me too is a powerful way to try to identify what your story is. Because if you try to compare yourself to other people and go, well, I don't have an addiction story. I don't have a traumatic story. I never was sexually molested when I was young. Like you'll never share your story. The point isn't to make people cry or to be so traumatic. Sometimes the point is just to say me too. And let me just say this too. Like, even if you haven't been through a bunch of trials, which we all have, right? Sometimes people want to hear that success story. Like, you know what? I was born into wealth. And I had to figure out what to do with it. Hey, guess what? Me too. You see what I'm saying? I want my daughter's story to be like that. I don't want my daughter to have no story where she went through, a bunch of broken relationships and because that would put me in prison. Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's you're absolutely right.
Me too, man. Me too. That's what people need to hear. So I just encourage you, like ask yourself, is there anything in my life that others can relate to? Because that's the goal of sharing your story. Okay. And then how do you take them from either being where you were to being where you are, or how do you just wrap your arms right around them because you're in the same season?
Yep. And say, I've been there, dude. Like, I've been broke. I've been fat. I have stretch marks. Do you have stretch marks? I have stretch marks. Although my body looks way better now than it did when I was 6 foot, 300 pounds. Now I'm 6'8", 260, but still, I have stretch marks.
You're 6'8"?
I'm 6'8", dude. Yes, 6'8", 260. Yeah, absolutely. I grew 8 inches after high school. I transformed my body through working out, I think eating healthy. And I tell my wife, I always prayed to be tall. I kept telling God, please make me tall. Please let me get taller. I want to be taller. I want to be taller.
Do you want to take it back now?
Sometimes I do, man. Many times I'm like, God, I want to be small. Let's go. Let's get out of here. But no, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. You have to be who you are. And so I think you're so right. I mean, no one has your story. And it's not, like you said, it's not a goal to be who has the worst story, because there's going to be someone out there that has a story that you can't even believe. And it won't even, it's like, wow, all this happened to you in your life and you're still here. I have a few buddies of mine. It's like, oh my God, dude. Like, I give you so much credit, bro, because I didn't come from that. Although I've had other crazy stuff, I can't believe what has happened to you. And it's like, oh my God, dude. And to be still smiling and breathing and positive and be the best dad they can be. And like, you just commend people like that so much in many ways. And I think it's just a great point you say, is just trying to find that me too in your story. and either embrace it, however you feel you can, approach it. Don't feel like there's a certain way you have to, but just think, where do I connect? Where would people connect to me and talk about it and be vulnerable? That's the thing. Be vulnerable. It's for me to tell my story about having breast reduction surgery because I had male breasts, and to tell that story, it sucks, dude, because a lot of people didn't even know that story. Many people don't know that story. Now people do, and it's okay. Because you know what? I'm a different person, and that shit changed my life. Shout out to my mom. It's her birthday today. She got me that surgery when she didn't have the money, and that shit turned me into too tall and was the person I could stand tall in my body, feel confident, and I told myself I will never go back there. Not that there's any judgment, but I personally wanted to be someone that I could stand tall, not have to tape down my chest, and be me. And so that's the most important thing. And we got a few more questions for you because I know we got to run, but my man, we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
I'm ready, baby.
Apple or Android?
Oh, it's Apple.
Oh, yeah. Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Yeah. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Do you have a favorite cut?
Oh, sirloin. I know.
Sirloin. Yeah, I like that. No, I like sirloin. I like sirloin. I like it all, man. I try to eat chicken mostly too because it's for health. But yeah, steak. You got to go steak, baby. Yeah. Laptop or smartphone?
Laptop.
Spotify or Pandora?
Pandora, actually.
Really? I like the randomness of Pandora. It's like you just don't know what to expect, and boom, you get some random new song. Movies or video games?
Movies.
Boom. Reading books or listening to books?
Reading.
Stocks or real estate?
Real estate.
Boom. Money, baby. Hey, 2021 is going to be a great year to continue to buy, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be a year that we're going to see some good deals and some good. If you have some cash on the sidelines, you've been able to put some money to work right there. It'll be a good time. And cheap interest right now, dude. Oceans or lakes?
Oceans.
Boom. When you wake up in the morning, my man, you're looking yourself in the mirror, you're brushing your teeth, getting ready for the day. Why do you love being you?
Why do I love being me?
Yeah.
Because there's nobody else like me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because I spent so much of my life hating me, not liking me, comparing me to other people, that I'm tired of being the president of the hate me club. I want to be the like me club. So man, there's nobody else like me, and there's nobody else like you, and you got to love yourself.
It's the most important thing. My wife's a psychologist. So she quite often tells me, you have to be your own cheerleader.
That's true.
No one else is going to be your cheerleader. Self-talk. Like even your partner isn't always going to be your cheerleader. And so you have to, and we are our most negative cheerleader too. So that's the thing you addressed is like, just be positive on yourself, folks. Yeah. Do good, take one step at a time. I have this note on my thing. I always remind myself, I love my life. Because even during the tough times, man, you got to tell yourself that. Adam Markel, you got to tell yourself, hey, I love my life, because sometimes it's not easy. When you start your day, how do you start your day? Do you have a typical routine?
Yeah, my routine is super long, but it's about 90 minutes.
Oh, nice.
I usually, I start off, I drink a glass of water, I get up, I listen to something motivational, I go, I pray, I exercise, I spend some time journaling, reflecting on not the previous day, but on what came up in my prayer time as I prayed through my day. I try to get my heart in alignment with God's agenda, because it's more about his agenda than mine.
Right.
And then I eat breakfast and say hello to my daughters and get ready for work and start my day.
I love that, dude. You focus on yourself first. I like that, man. Yeah. I think that's a really important thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
Is focus on yourself first before you get into the emails and the grind and all the fires we got to fight and all that fun shit we got to go through. As an entrepreneur, you got to do yourself first, because then you just feel great. You're like, I got all these things done for myself. I'm a rock star. That's a great routine. I love that. Do you have a skill you're trying to master right now?
Yes. I'm trying to master the skill of finding and staying in my authentic voice.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Which sometimes can be difficult. I know sometimes people are saying like, is this your real voice, TF? Are you really always like this? Now I can say I'm probably a little bit more like extreme on my show, but this is who I am. This is just kind of who I am, folks. So, couple more last questions for you, my man. It's been a great show with you, I have to say. I love your energy, bro. I do love your authenticity, period. Yeah. And your soul is connected to mine, man. And
Thank you.
I love that you're a great dad. I love that you're helping athletes out there that are on these big stages. And know, guys, that if you are an athlete, your second act, your second career could even be bigger. I mean, look at Jamal Mashburn. I love his example. Go check out Jamal Mashburn. Unbelievable story, folks. Well, not only was a great athlete, but man, he's balling now, folks, because he's real smart with his money. Do you have a favorite app on your phone right now?
My favorite app is Evernote.
I love that one.
Yeah, I take too many notes in there. Yeah, it's like
keep it all in one place and
oh my God,
don't lose anything.
Yeah.
That app is amazing. It's gotten better and better over the years too.
Yep.
If you could sit down to a sirloin steak dinner with anyone in the world, who would it be?
Man, I have a list. I probably would start with Denzel.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
God, I love I love how he goes into his characters.
Yeah, I do. There's
and he's just got some serious swag, dude. Let's just be real. He just got some serious fucking swag, dude. I'm like,
and he's versatile. He's really versatile. He's played in a lot of different roles. So
absolutely, everything from like the Killers to like the real sweetheart. I mean, it's unbelievable. The Coach to Remember the Titans. That was a great movie. That was a great movie. Has there been a book in your journey that has changed your life?
Lots of books, a couple of recommendations. I would definitely say Michael Hyatt's Living Forward book helped me to really think about the end from the beginning. You can't go wrong with 7 Habits of Highly Effective Leaders. It's timeless. Thou Shall Prosper is a great one on money mindset.
Thou Shall Prosper. That's a good one.
Yeah. Thou Shall Prosper. Yeah. It's about some Jewish principles. I can keep going, man. I got so many book recommendations. I'm a junkie for the books, man.
Do you read books quite often every day?
I do every day,
that's
man.
Awesome,
I love it. Yeah.
Those that are listening, that's what you got to do, man.
Yeah,
it's work. That's practice. Like you did on the field, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to switch it up. Sometimes like fiction, nonfiction, to keep your creativity alive. But then also just like it's not all books aren't created equal.
Right.
I love reading something that fits your season of life.
Right.
So try to find like what area am I trying to master or grow in. Read books in that area. And then try to read something that maybe might stretch your thinking a little bit. So
love that. Like Lifespan, folks. Go check out Lifespan. It's all about how we might not even die. Oh man, David Sinclair. That book it'll blow your mind because there's shit in there you learn about your body that, oh my God, you never knew. It is unbelievable. I really appreciate you, brother. We got one last question for you.
Yeah.
Can you bring us, our listeners, one last real talk thought?
My favorite quote comes from Marianne Williamson. You probably heard this, but our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. The real talk thought is this: what if you're more powerful than you've given yourself permission to be? What if there's more for you to achieve? What if there's more lives for you to influence? And the only reason why you're not is because you have not said my favorite one word: yes.
Right.
Yes was the one word that changed my life when I was in the psychiatric unit, and it's what will change yours. And if you don't know what that yes is, that's my specialty. We help athletes transition, but I personally help people find their next yes. What's your next yes? What's the one thing that you should be saying yes to and you haven't? Do you have ideas, creativity, business concepts that you've yet to release? Because that's what the world is waiting for.
And don't wait. Do it right now, folks. Now's the time to leave, baby. Now's the time. And where's the best place for people to find you online?
Dude, hit me up I'm on Instagram, Stinson Speaks, or just shoot me an email, Darryll@secondchanceathletes.com. I love to connect.
Folks, you've been hanging out with Darryll Stinson and your boy Travis Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real. What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, and also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it, and thank you so much for listening today. We're all going through a lot right now, and Real-Time Outsource, my business, is giving back to local and small businesses. Through our social media services and campaigns, we are actually helping small businesses get more exposure during these times, and also when we get through these times. At the end of the day, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but most importantly, you got to think about your business right now and take it seriously. So come check us out at realtimeoutsource.com, and we would love for you to qualify and get the process started where we can take a look at your business and see if we can qualify you for some of our services at little to no cost for most of the businesses. And some businesses, you're going to have to pay, but that's just part of life, right? But most importantly is that I think this is the time, folks, that you can actually help thrive in your business. And so I would love to help you personally with our team. We're all going through a tough time right now. So take advantage of us. realtimeoutsource.com. Check us out. And we would love to do some business with you and help you with your social and digital media in 2020 and beyond.